All right, everyone, welcome to another Gundam Explained video. Today we're going to be looking at, is it an RX-78 It's an RX-78F00 or F00. I don't know. This is that Yokohama life-size Gundam that they have built. And along with that is its, I guess, the docking station that it's in. That's very similar to what is at that life-size place. Where's it? Gundam Factory, Yokohama. That's what it is. All right, and here it is. This is the RX-78F00 in the dock here, and we're gonna take a look at both the Gundam unit itself, the Robot Spirits action figure here, and the dock separately. So I'll go ahead and jump into that. All right, and here is the figure, and really this thing looks great. It looks awesome. You know, every iteration of the RX-78 looks great. I just don't know why it has to have that special designation of the F00 instead of just RX-78. Maybe there's a reason for it. I should have looked it up and I didn't, but it doesn't matter. We're really just reviewing the figure itself. And just to kind of take a closer look, you can kind of see the sculpting on here. Very well done. A lot of cool detail, a lot of cool color separation, some slight real marking. We can see there, real type marking, actually is what they call it, and some really tiny feet that look funny. But yeah, let's jump into articulation. All right, so with the head, it kind of the standard stuff you're going to see out of Robot Spirits, to be honest, really. It's a little more stiff than I expected it to be. It doesn't go as far back. The Vert anime, or at least one version, has a part here that articulates. So as you move it back, it pushes in, allowing the RX-78 to look up more. But again, this isn't an RX-78 now, is it? So going to the shoulders here, kind of the typical, that just came off. And it looks, yeah, to get a closer look, it's just a little peg for a ball joint. And as we go, something else I want to point out is this wasn't too expensive. If you buy it domestically, like at Big Bad Toy Store, I think you're going to be paying a premium. I bought it straight from Japan. I imported it, and even with the shipping price, it was way less than that. So I'm assuming for someone living in Japan that wants to buy this, this is a rather inexpensive figure. And it could just be part of promoting the Yokohama factory, Gundam in general. And that leads to the plastic feeling a little different than some Robot Spirits figures. It doesn't feel as sturdy, but then this still feels like a premium quality figure. Don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure you would notice if you had one in your hands. So again, with the shoulders, that moves up. If I do it anymore, again, you'll see it pop up. So we're seeing a limit there, but not a big deal. It still goes around all the way. We have the elbow going up a whole lot, and you can see really how much thinner it is here. And then moving down to the waist, it's got a few different pieces that it's working with in order to get the articulation you want. And if you noticed, we didn't have that sort of upper chest articulation where it can move in, so you can kind of dual wield the sword, or not dual wield, but two-handed, and that you could probably pull it off, but it's a little more difficult because of that, with that limitation. Okay, waist, we've got waist swivel. Going to the waist, we have this front skirt here, like normal. Got the side. These seem to be pretty good compared to others. They don't seem to fall apart too much, and that gives us a view underneath where we can see the articulation. So you can get a nice spread. Let's see, you can drop the legs. Let's see. Yeah, you could drop the legs there if needed. So good articulation there. The back where sometimes we don't see articulation, there is just a bit, just a little bit. So this allows the leg to move back. Again, just a little bit, but that's a little more than some. So kind of impressive. And while we're back here, we can kind of see how this works back here. I guess you can get it at different angles when you're moving the chest in the front. But in the back with the thrusters, sometimes you see articulation there, none here. Moving down, we got the legs. The knee bend is what you'd expect, maybe even a little more, so that's pretty good. Got the thigh swivel, the foot moves forward, moves down, and it's even got a little bit of toe action there, not too much. Just kind of funny how small this foot looks in general. I sometimes feel some of the design elements of Gundam or mobile suits in general is having that bigger foot, and this one's just small. Kind of looks out of place, but still a cool figure. So the hands here, it's just a ball joint, comes off very easily. Not too much to it. Reminds me of what I was talking about earlier about the quality is a little different than normal with these. Let's look at the instructions real quick, see if there's anything interesting from here. Let's see, we've got where the beam sabers plug in and fall out easily. We've got the additional V-fin, just in case you lose one. Showing off the articulation here. Oh, it looks like it's showing something with the upper chest part, but it's very subtle. Very subtle. Unless I'm missing something. Okay. So that kind of moves up, but that doesn't really help with anything. So that's very interesting. You can move that up. I guess that's just to give it a little more up. Oh, there we go. Did I kind of crack the code there? Okay. So I don't think... Yeah, this kind of gives it a little more. That's kind of a weird way to do the articulation. But I think earlier when I was trying to go back, I was maybe blocked by... Oh, I had the head. Okay. So there actually is a lot more articulation to that. I'm glad I can point that out here. Yeah, very good to know. Although unrelated to that yellow piece popping up. So, just kind of a interesting extra little thing there. Let's see. Showing the beam effect part. And the gun and how that is used. Okay, the shield. Showing the different options for plugging in the shield. Looks like on the back, on the arm. Let's see, holding the beam saber, where that goes. And the extra piece for the stand, which is a little disappointing. I like it when it's built in, but that's okay. I mean, it's just another piece to lose. And as an additional piece to lose, you can also take off a piece on the back for another part of the stand that comes with the dock. And then just showing where you could plug in effect parts here on the back. All right, moving on to accessories. Yeah, the shield looks cool. Looks like a shield. It has all that extra detail in here to make it look cool. Handle, pluggy place. Just like with the Ver Anime, the exact same style beam effect parts. So you got, 2 for the beam sabers, you got 1 for the gun. And here is that gun. Completely molded in plastic. It's got the little gold for the viewfinder there, the scope, and then the handle. So kind of the typical RX-78 gun with some more detailing on it. Cat hair everywhere. And then here is that stand piece part that goes on the back of them. Yeah, I'm getting desperate here. There's not many accessories. V-fin. And then we have 2 gun trigger finger hands. 2 open hands. A pointy hand, which I feel like there's a lot that you can get out of that. That is really cool. And then a peace sign hand. Another cool little thing. Or rabbit ears, like on another fellow Gundam I pose with. Oh, and then also the connector part for the shield. So he looks cool. He's holding his shield. Take off the hand. Put in trigger finger hand. Oh, so moving that incorrectly caused this to move a little bit. Oh, I just heard a snap. Not good. So yeah, this seems to come off pretty easily if you're not careful. Was that pretty easily? That was pretty easily. So that was for me sliding it up, trying to push this hand on. Minor inconvenience. All right, there you go. There is a pose. Just to kind of show off what it could potentially do. Looks cool. And here's some other shots I've taken of it. Well, yeah, this guy definitely looks cool. All right, and let's take a look at this dock. All right, so the dock is pretty interesting because you have to build it and put it together. This isn't expensive, not even domestically. So that kind of lends to I guess, what it does in general. Now, it's interesting that it's got some connector pieces here. I didn't really look too much into it, but maybe you can buy these other docks and plug them in, or that's for something else entirely that I don't even know about. Yeah, and this separates. This is, I guess, if you want to move it out forward more out of its docking position. Yeah, and that's something to keep in mind, too. When it comes to setting this up and using it as a stand, there is a spot right here that goes into his behind, but then there is this up here, and that has its own articulation as well. Now, speaking of other points of articulation, these kind of what do you call them? I don't know. There's names for these things. These little bridge thingy-maboppers, they kind of move. They have a bunch of different options, configurations. There's even this claw here that comes off easily, but can move around however you want it. It's kind of a set it and forget it, really. But building it was pretty awkward. So you can kind of see how there's like this little dip here. And I tried to set it up correctly before shooting this, but you got to like move it down sort of, because they slide out. So as you can see, but then they all tend to move up when you slide them out. Hey, maybe I did this wrong. I've read the instructions. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So you can kind of see again. You get I mean, this thing is like a robot on its own. It looks like something from Star Wars. What it also comes with is these pieces right here. These are to hold the accessories. So, for instance, you can have it sitting right there. You can put this here. Not exactly what I was trying to do, but yeah, you can kind of get it sitting in there. I think depending on where you have the handle here that doesn't move, it kind of blocks what you can do exactly. But you can have that sitting there, potentially, if it's not being blocked. I thought I had this in correctly once. It could be a lie. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the thing just falls apart a lot. I mean, it's cool, but it's cumbersome. It's not for something to actively be using. You're going to find how you're going to set it up, and you're going to leave it that way. So that would go there. And then let's look at his gun real quick. Kind of the same thing here. You can just set it here, and then it sits there. That one does a better job of it. Looks cool. Can't really complain, especially because of the price. But yeah, let's throw them in here. Have a look. All right, so putting it on just to kind of show you, it looks kind of weird, right? How that all works, like what is really what. And really, there's just one plug that it goes into, but it fits in just barely, again, unless I'm doing something wrong, because the top part of it will run into the top part of that. So let me get his body in a better pose. I plug this in, and that seems to be as far as it goes. It's kind of interesting. All right, then slide that in. Kind of give them like a default pose. And then, there you have it. That's how you can just plug them right in to that piece to recreate that Yokohama base look. It's pretty neat. All right, and so there you have it. That is the Yokohama RX-78F00, not an RX-78-2. Remember that. And I think this is kind of a neat, sturdy little figure on its own. It's not too expensive, so it is cool to have. But there are just some weird things about it, especially if you're leveraging the docking station, that just kind of make it a little hassle to use. But otherwise, especially for the price, I think it's worth adding this to your collection, especially if you like RX-78-2s, even though this isn't an RX-78-2. Please like and subscribe. Check out the video in the description below for the giveaway that's going on. Be sure to enter that. I'll be doing the giveaway soon. That was a lot of giveaways in one sentence. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk later.